everybody, it's Mary Jo Running here, and I am going to be showing you adaptations I'm going to be putting into my classroom for the 4 teaching principles. And here we go. Hi everybody. So one of the first things I do with my 6th grade chorus is teach them the solfege symbols do to so when we are doing warm-ups, and that leads into learning how to read music. So this is something that I would visually display on the TV that I have for them. Again, using do and re for the symbols, talking about a spaced note versus a line note, and going through and singing it with them. So, do, 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 rest, 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 rest. Do, 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 rest, 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 rest. Re, 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 rest, 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 rest. Do, 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 do. Next thing I would do is to take the do's and re's away so that they are reading the music. But what I might also do with that is add the kinesthetic idea of using the Kodai Kerwin hand signs while we are looking at the notes. So for that exercise, it would have been do, 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 rest, 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 rest. Do, 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 rest, 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 rest. Re, 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 re. And encourage the students to be doing the hand signals as we were singing. Another thing I quickly created was this staff that is made out of craft sticks and foam board. So it's not very thick, but it's pretty stiff. And it's something that I think could be used with low vision learners, where if you were starting do on F, you could put their fingers here, and re could be the next line, so they could move their fingers to be able to demonstrate that they understand how the notes are moving. This is another way that I think things could be easily adapted to allow all students to be successful learning in the classroom. This whole modality is using a program like Smart Music. And how I do this is that we will sing along to the piano part that it plays. It'll play the piano note for them. So we'll start with that. I'm not going to play the whole thing because I know you understand how this works. And I can turn my part down and just have them sing with the accompaniment. And now we'll go on to sizing, which relates to Smart Music as well. So in sizing, one of the things I like to teach students that they can do with something like Smart Music is change the size. Like right now, on an iPad, that would be fairly small to look at. It's probably okay, but you can't just do the swipe your fingers open to enlarge things like you do with most iPad applications to make things bigger. With Smart Music, because it runs on the internet and it runs the same on a computer as it does on an iPad, you actually have to go to display, but it has the zoom in function here where the students can make it bigger on their iPads. And I like to bring that up often with the students because some of the exercises and music that it's asking them to read can be small on the iPad. But then I will also put things up visually large on my screen so that I can point out things like dynamics and dynamic markings and tempo changes and stuff in their music. They can be looking at their music at the same time, highlighting it or whatever to remember that those things are there. Helping students learn to read music, one of the things that I've struggled with over the years is there's one of the elementary teachers in town who likes to write in all the letter names for the students, and I do want them to transition from that. So I think one of the ways I might be able to do that is by kind of creating modifications. Like I found these blank fingering charts, as someone made it as fingering tests, but what I could do is highlight the notes that are being used in this piece of music and put the little dots in here. I did this with a PDF app where you can do these things. So this could be shared with the student that would want to need that accommodation, and then they could put the dots in on their own, or they could do it on a PDF and then leave theirs blank. There's a lot of different options for where students can be, but in trying to like coordinate things together, I did find out that these things are pretty easy to find. You can find erasable highlighters that students could use with the colors that I put on this fingering chart, and try and limit the students to 4 or 5 notes that they're going to be playing in a song, that can limit how much they are working on compared to other students until they are ready for more or ready to erase those highlights. So that is my color adaptation. Books that I use with students, I create a list of songs that I would like them to accomplish. And this goes to pacing, where if I have a student who needs to work on hot cross buns and needs modifications to continue working on that one, or moving into scaling new heights, which adds a few more notes to it, and then lightly row changes some of the rhythms up. Each one of them progressively gets a little bit more difficult. But for my high achieving or exceptional students, they can move through these pretty quickly at their pace. And for the students who need to review and work on one for a longer period of time, that is an option for them. Or they do one line of the song at a time, like Scaling New Heights or Lightly Row might actually end up being a 2-line song. So they do like 1 row and then a second row, and then they can use the highlighting that I have for the book for the notes that they are learning for that time. It's definitely a way that I can allow students to move at their own speed. And when I assess them with this, it's in the middle of class, but they're all kind of practicing their own parts. And again, in my classroom, everyone is in a different place, and that's okay. They hear that all the time. I'm like, you move at what speed is good for you. And just by moving through these exercises, everyone improves. So those are my accommodations. Thank you, everybody.